Okay, so like, you know how you got to train a model?
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're brewing up something pretty special.
Oh,
We're diving deep into this paper called PEACE, Empowering Geologic Map, Holistic Understanding with MLLMs.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's all about using AI to like really understand geologic maps,
Wow.
which is super important for geologists, right?
Absolutely. It's like their language, you know?
Totally. And this paper uses something called MLLMs.
Multimodal large language models.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For people who might not be super familiar with AI, think of them like,
Super smart chatbots.
yeah, but way more than that.
Yeah.
They can process images, sounds,
Even geologic maps, apparently.
right. It's like teaching AI to read the Earth's history, you know?
Like deciphering all those rocks and colors and symbols.
Exactly. So how does this paper actually do that?
Well, they introduced this thing called GeoMap Bench.
GeoMap Bench.
Yeah, it's like a benchmark, a test to see how well these MLLMs can understand geologic maps.
Whoa, like a final exam for AI geologists.
Huh. Yeah, I like that.
So what kind of questions are on this exam?
Well, it tests 5 key abilities, like starting with extracting basic information like latitude and longitude.
Okay, makes sense.
Then there's grounding, connecting concepts to specific spots on the map.
So like if we see a blue area on a map, we know it's a lake.
Exactly. Then there's referring, which is all about how colors and symbols relate to real-world things.
Gotcha.
Then there's reasoning, where the AI has to figure out like how rock layers were formed or how faults might affect the landscape.
This is some serious geologic problem solving.
Oh, yeah. And finally, there's analyzing, where the AI has to draw conclusions, like maybe assess the risk of landslides.
Wow, so GeoMap Bench is putting these AIs to the test. But they didn't just use any maps, right?
No, they use real geological maps from the USGS and the Chinese Geological Survey.
So like the same maps geologists use out in the field.
Exactly. Makes the whole thing even more relevant.
Totally.
Mm.
So how did those MLLMs do on this geological exam?
Well, they also introduced a new AI system called GeoMap Agent, and it actually outperformed some of the top language models out there, including GPT-4o.
No way. It beat GPT-4o. That's crazy. What makes GeoMap Agent so special?
Well, it's not just one model. It combines 3 modules, HiChi-E, DKI, and PQ.
HiE, DKI, and PKI.
Yeah. HiChi is hierarchical information extraction. It breaks down the map into smaller chunks.
So like giving the AI a game plan.
Yeah. Then there's DKI, domain knowledge injection. This is where they give GeoMap agents specialized knowledge, like in geology and geography, even seismology.
Like they gave it a crash course in earth science.
Exactly.
Wow. What about PKI?
That's prompt-enhanced question answering. Think of it like a teacher crafting questions to guide the AI.
So they're helping it learn.
Totally. And to top it off, GeoMap Agent has this thing they call a tool pool, which includes vision detectors, Google Earth APIs, even other AI models.
So it's like a whole team of experts helping GeoMap Agent analyze these maps.
Precisely.
That's amazing. But I guess the big question is, what does this mean for the real world?
Right. That is the big question. But before we jump into all that,
Yeah.
maybe we should dig a bit deeper into how they designed GeoMap Bench. It's actually pretty fascinating.
Oh, I'm all about the details. What makes it so special?
Well, remember how we talked about using those real maps, from the USGS and CGS?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't just use them straight up.
Yeah.
They went through this really intense annotation process.
Annotation.
Yeah, it's like they added all these notes and labels to the maps to help the AI,
Oh, so it's not just about the pictures on the map. They're giving the AI more info to actually understand it.
Exactly. They added things like bounding boxes, metadata, and all these details about the colors and symbols.
Wow. So they really decked out those maps for the AI.
Oh, yeah. They even included statistics like the area of each rock unit and if there were any faults.
It's like giving the AI a super detailed guidebook for each map.
Huh, yeah, something like that.
No wonder GeoMap Agent did so well.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got these super annotated maps and this awesome AI ready to analyze them.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an example of what one of these test questions might look like?
Sure. Remember those 5 abilities: extracting, grounding, referring, reasoning, and analyzing.
Yeah.
The questions on GeoMap Bench test all of those.
Okay, hit me with a question.
Okay, for extracting, it might be something like, what's the latitude and longitude range of this map? Simple, but it tests if the AI can find that basic info.
Okay, makes sense. What about grounding?
For grounding, it might ask, what location on this map should I look at to measure distances and understand the terrain scale? So it has to know what's on the map and where it is.
Right. Okay, cool. What about referring?
A referring question could be, what color on the legend represents the quartz, sericite, phyllite, and schist rock name?
Oh, so it has to understand the map's legend.
Exactly.
Okay, now give me a tough one. What about reasoning?
Okay, try this. Regarding the rock in this area, which one has the biggest area out of these 4 choices?
Wow, that's like a real geology exam.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, last one. Analyzing. What would that look like?
Maybe something like, based on this map, what's the seismic risk in this area? Think about both the chances of something happening and the impact it would have on people.
Wow. They're really making the AI think.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm still blown away that GeoMap Agent can do all of this. Can you walk me through how it works? I mean, we talked about the modules, but like step by step.
Okay, so picture this. GeoMap Agent gets a new map and a question to answer.
Okay.
First, that HIE module kicks in, right? Starts analyzing the map's layout.
Okay.
Breaks it down into smaller pieces like the legend, the main map, cross sections, all that.
So it's like it's getting organized.
Yeah. Then the DKI module steps in. This is where it brings in all that specialized knowledge.
Yeah, right.
So let's say the question is about landslide risk in a certain area.
Yeah.
DKI might look at the types of rocks there, the slope of the land, even past landslide data for that area.
So it's like it's doing its research.
Totally. Finally, the PQA module comes in. This is where it takes all that info from HIE and DKI and crafts the perfect question.
So it's wording the question in a way that helps the AI understand.
Exactly. And remember, it has that tool pool.
Yeah.
It can use those tools to run simulations or grab more data from Google Earth to make sure it gets the best answer.
That's incredible. So it's really using everything it's got to solve these problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's seriously impressive. And you said before that this isn't just a cool tech demo, right? This could actually change how geology works.
Definitely. Imagine geologists having these AI assistants that can analyze tons of data, spot hazards, even find new resources. That's what we're talking about here.
That's mind-blowing. But can you give me some specific examples of how this could actually be used?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine using this tech to predict earthquakes or volcanic eruptions.
Oh.
Right. Or even landslides, but with way more accuracy than we can now.
Yeah, that would be incredible. It could help people evacuate, stay safe.
Exactly. And think about resource exploration.
Yeah.
GeoMap Agent could help us find new deposits of, minerals or oil.
Or even groundwater, which is getting more and more important.
Right. We could use it to tackle these big resource challenges.
That's amazing. And what about climate change?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Geologic maps have so much info about past climates,
Right.
GeoMap Agent could help us unlock that and model future climate scenarios.
This is seriously groundbreaking stuff. It feels like AI could become like a partner for geologists, not just a tool.
I totally agree. And it doesn't stop at geology, right? This kind of AI could be used for all kinds of scientific data.
That's true.
Yeah.
What other areas could benefit from an AI like GeoMap Agent?
That's a great question, and one that researchers will probably be exploring for a long time.
I'm sure. Okay, well, before we get too carried away, how about we move into our novel notions segment?
Oh, yeah. Time to brainstorm.
Exactly. So what crazy ideas did this paper spark for you?
Well, I was thinking about how cool it would be to have a personalized GeoMap agent.
Like your own personal geologist.
Exactly. Imagine an app that uses your location to pull up all the geologic data for your area.
Whoa. Okay.
And you could ask it specific questions about your local geology, like, what's the landslide risk on my property?
That's actually super practical.
Right. Or where's the best spot to dig a well?
That's so cool. It would make geology accessible to everyone.
Exactly. Hikers, gardeners, even amateur fossil hunters could use it.
It would be like having a geology expert right in your pocket.
Right. And it's not totally sci-fi either.
Right.
We already have apps using GPS and geology data for things like earthquake alerts.
Right. So it's not that far off.
Exactly. Just add a conversational AI like GeoMap Agent and boom, you've got a personal geologist.
That's awesome. And as more people use it, the app would get smarter too, right?
Totally. It'd be like citizen science, helping us all understand our planet better.
I love that. Okay, that was a fantastic novel notion. But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I think it's worth looking back at the bigger picture. This paper is a huge step forward for AI, showing how it can understand really complex science.
Absolutely.
But what led to this? What's the history behind this research?
Well, it all started with machine learning and deep learning, right?
Yeah, those have totally changed how we analyze data.
Big time. And early on, people tried applying them to geology, like for identifying rocks in satellite images.
Right.
But those early systems, they were limited, they couldn't really handle the complexity of geology.
It's like trying to understand a whole book just by looking at the cover.
Ha! Yeah, perfect analogy. Geologic maps, they're like these intricate stories, and you need an AI that can really read them.
And that's where MLLMs come in, right? They can handle both the images and the text, making
Mm.
those connections.
Exactly. MLLMs were a turning point. But even they needed a special framework for geologic maps. And that's what's so cool about GeoMap Agent. It uses MLLMs, but in this clever modular design with all the right tools.
So it's about having the right approach, not just the raw power.
Totally. And that's why this paper is such a big deal. It's not just about this one achievement. It's
Right.
like a guide for how to tackle tough scientific problems with AI.
It's inspiring a whole new way of thinking about these things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible to think about all the possibilities, and also kind of humbling to realize how much we still don't know about Earth.
I know, right?
But with AI helping us, I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Me too. Who knows? Maybe AI will help us answer some of the biggest questions about our planet, maybe even the universe.
That's a great thought. Well, everyone, be sure to check the show notes for a link to the full paper if you want to dive deeper into all of this.
Definitely.
And until next time, keep those coffee cups filled and your minds open to the amazing world of AI.
Cheers to that.